Hello my friends all over the world, wherever you are. William Poloniak here at Whole Health Foundation, and today I'm making some apple juice with 8 large Granny Smith apples, but today I'm going to add 50 grams of ginger. So let's show you the next step. Now the first thing I'm going to do is cut my Granny Smith apples into manageable pieces. Normally I would cut these into quarters, but these apples are so huge I'm going to cut them into 6 sections. And then we'll start making juice. Alright, the first thing I'm going to do is start putting the juice tray, but I'm using the front-loading feed tube, which eliminates blowback to your ceiling 100%. And I'm also using the near zero blowback cutter that has over 80 teeth cut into it, and that allows you to shred your produce 4 degrees centigrade cooler. Now because we're using a small quantity of apples, I'm not going to use ice cubes to cool down my cutter, but I will plug in the thermometer just to monitor the temperature. We're at 20 degrees centigrade now, and it looks like the temperature is going down because my feed tube is colder than the ambient temperature. So I'm using a wide-mouthed ball jar to collect pulp. And one reason a wide-mouthed ball jar works is I have a lake height kit on here that raises the juicer up a little bit. Continue with the apples until we're done. Check the wing nuts frequently. Now it's a good idea to push with 2 hands. It's easier on your spine and more ergonomically comfortable. Make some juice. But first what I'm going to do is clean my feed tube. Now let's put this aside, pull out the folding tray and put in 2 cloths. And I'm going to line these cloths with bamboo liners, because fruit and greens especially will stick to your cloth and make for a cleanup nightmare. And the last thing you want to do is have cleanup problems. So let's get a bamboo liner. These are organic bamboo liners made from wild organic bamboo. Now what I'm going to do next is clean my grid and my grid holder. Put that inside the bamboo liner. And unplug the thermometer. We're only up to 22 degrees, so it was a good idea not to use ice cubes this time. We had a small batch. Whenever you do a small batch, you don't need the thermometer. So we'll push all this pulp through. So I'm going to clean the cutter, and I'm going to make sure that the pulp is out of the end and out of the set screws. Here it is. I'm going to use the brush which comes with all of the juices that I sell. And then then we'll clean the feed tube as well. Make sure the grit holder and the grit are cleaned. I'll put them back in the feed tube. Next I'm going to clean the back of the feed tube on the round escutcheon. You go up on the left, down on the right. The reason you do that is when you go up on the left you're untightening, and when you go down on the right you're also untightening. So either with the damp cloth or with the spray nozzle, clean the front and reassemble. Now I always like to reassemble before I press the juice. For me it's a tidier and more efficient way to do things. Next I'm going to dump about a half a container, 3/4 of a container perhaps, of this pulp. And I'm going to use a spatula to get all of that precious pulp out of there. Don't want to waste anything. Put that in the sink. Now I'm going to fold the bamboo over the pulp in both directions. And then fold the cloth over the bamboo. Now I'm going to make as tight a package as I can. Put a little crease back here, make it easier to fold, and pull this into as tight a package as possible. Next I'll set that aside, open up another cloth, and line it with a bamboo liner. Now you can reuse these bamboo liners 2, 3, maybe even 4 times. Alright, we'll put about a half a container in here. Maybe a little bit more. And again, fold the bamboo over in both directions. Fold the cloth over the bamboo. Now, this is very important. I'm going to put 2 cloths full of pulp in the center of the juice tray. Make sure it's on the press plate properly, and make sure it's centered left to right, centered front to back, making the adjustments you need to, all the way back, and back it off a little bit. Now the reason I'm backing it off is I don't want this to go up too fast. Pulp in there. And again, we'll fold the bamboo. Notice I didn't use a new bamboo liner. I'm using the original bamboo liner. And again, fold the cloth over into as tight a package as I can make. Set that aside. And again, notice I'm not using a new bamboo liner. I normally make apple juice, 7 or 8 apples at a time. I don't make huge amounts. I might get 2 bottles out of this. Ooh, that's going to be a large package. And again, fold the bamboo in thirds. Oh, this is a thick package. I probably put too much in there, but we'll see. Into as tight a package as I can make. Flatten it, and I'll put in 2 cloths full of pulp again. Centered left to right. This is very important to check it every time you do juice. Centered front to back, adjust if need be, all the way back, back it off. Now notice I also have some juice in the container, so I'll pour this in here as well. And once you have good juice flow, advance it all the way. And I'm going to leave it up until I get droplets. And one reason I can do that is I'm using the Whole Health Foundation bottom base plate that's indestructible. And it has a lifetime warranty. Plus, you can get 10% more juice, which I'll demonstrate. Now, I'll pick up the bamboo with the pulp and form it into a tight ball, like so. And make as tight a package as you can. And what I'm going to do with this is fold it under itself 2 or 3 or 4 times, as many times as I can. And do that in both directions. Now you're going to be surprised to see how much extra juice we get. Most people would be throwing this pulp away, and one reason for that is the Norwalk Company doesn't tell you, nobody tells you except me, and I'm telling you now, you're going to get 10% more juice. So we'll take this, pour it into a tight ball. You notice how it's wet around the edges? That's always an indication there's more juice in there. And like I said before, most people would be throwing this away. And what you're essentially doing is throwing away your money. And fold it under as many times as you can. Flatten that. We'll flatten both of these, put them in the press. Centered, left to right, that's very important. It has to be in the center. Centered front to back, and I'm using a measuring beaker to show how much extra juice we can get. We'll turn that out all the way forward and back it off a little bit. Now you back it off because you don't want this to go up too fast. If it goes up too fast, it'll be slippery, especially with juices and greens, and it'll make a mess that you're going to be wishing you hadn't made. And once you get juice flow, advance that all the way. Keep your eye on the container. I can't tell you how many times I've got it all over my countertop. And once you get traction and juice flow, advance it all the way. Well, there's 5 ounces, another ounce of juice. And remember, you can leave this up as long as you have a steady stream here, and that's because of this bottom base plate. Now there we have droplets. So what I'm going to do is stop the press. Oh, we're up to 6 ounces. Oh my goodness. Now here's a little tip that most people never do. On the tray, you always clean around the edges, because there's a calcium buildup there, and if you clean it, you'll minimize the calcium buildup. I have seen some trays with so much calcium on the side you have to soak it overnight with vinegar. So again, with cold water, scrub this, fold it in thirds, and we'll press the water out. Alright, we'll put the washed cloths in the press. And one thing you should always do, and believe me, almost everyone forgets to do this, is with a paper towel clean the upper plate all around the edges and the side plate. Now we'll center the cloths in there, press the water out, and I'm going to use a sponge to catch the water. Put these in a plastic bag and into the freezer. And then we're going to bottle the juice and taste it. Alright my friends, I'm going to pour this together and fill some bottles. Now these are 14-ounce bottles, probably 15 ounces if I fill them to the top. Let's fill them from the back side so the camera gets a good angle. And enough for a taste test. So we got 3 bottles of juice here, enough for a taste test. What I'm going to do now is have 2 friends of mine taste this with me. And I suspect it's too rich. So what I might do later is mix it 50% with water in these 2 bottles. And let me get 2 more glasses for my friends. Alright my friends, we're going to do a taste test here with my new friend Glenn, who's a dentist from Los Angeles, and Jamian, who is an artist and a musician. So let's see what this tastes like full strength. Boy, that's sweet. Can you taste the ginger, either of you?
Yes. It's mild.
I probably put in too much ginger. I think next time I'll only put in 25%. Well, let me mix this with 50% water, and we'll do another taste test. All right, my friends, in this sample it's 50% water. It might be too much water, we don't know yet, so let's give it a taste. I like it 50% water myself.
It works.
So I would call this an apple drink. For me, it tastes better than full strength. Full strength, especially for a diabetic, is very, very sweet. Well, my friends, I hope you like what you've seen, and if you do, please tell a friend. If you'd like to telephone me for advice to buy a juicer or supplies, my number is 760-753-0321. My email address is developtrust@cox.net, and my webpage is wholehealthfound.com. And I have 2 full-strength apples here, one 50%, one and a half 50% with water. I prefer this because it's not as sweet as these. Well, my friends, I'll see you in the next video.